Hello everybody, I'm Abasood and welcome to my course on communication and network security. So we have taken a look at the OSI framework and its several layers, and we have talked about how it is a reference model. We don't really use it in a practical life except as describe the complex process of communication, but we do use TCP IP model. So let's look at how two models are actually compared. We can see that the OSI model with its 7 layers could then referred by 4 layers of TCP/IP models. The top 3 layers of OSI models, that is application, presentation, and session, all wrapped up within the application layer of a TCP/IP model. The transport layer, well, it could be called as a transport layer, but we cannot even agree on how many layers there are with TCP/IP. We are showing you 4 layer, but you'll have people argue that we should show as 3 or 5 layers. That doesn't matter. It's not an important thing for the exam. The important thing for us is to understand the security and functionality of a layer, whether or not they are 3, 4, or 5. And we see that their disagreement on what to call the layers with TCP/IP as well. We have used here just the term host to host because these are the main things that transport layer does. It ensures end-to-end communication. Then we have the network layer, which could be then called as a internet working or internet layer even. And finally, the data link layer and the physical layer of OSI model is combined into the network access layer of TCP/IP. One of the areas we should be aware of are threats to network communication, and that is quite often called things like botnets. So let's discuss about what it botnets and how it can be harmful. Botnets stand for robotically controlled network, and a botnet, to show you a very simple one, is where we have at the top of the botnet owner the person who controls the botnet, and they called it through a number of command and control machine or servers. These commands and control machine then transition to what the commands and control servers are, and so on. But just to make sure it's simple, an infected machine is one that has a zombie planted on it, and originally these were mostly, of course, desktops and laptops, but today most of these are smart TVs, IP cameras, and other type of devices that are able to taken over and used, and now in an attack against a victim. Now these attacks can range a lot from spam to, of course, distributed denial of services, that is DDoS types of attack. And one example of that is when we use DNS. Let's say a machine called out a DNS server and say, hey, could you resolve who is this organization, and I'm trying to do so. And when we send a request off to the DNS server, the reply we get back is much larger than the size of the request, about 40 times. It has all of the information we need to update. uh, Say, or for example, for our own DNS server, and we can see the same things using network time protocol. At a request sent to NTP server is again replied back to fairly large size of transition. So the attack is that the attacker now sends a request to a DNS server, spoof their address so that the reply is sent to the victim. This amplifies the attack, or sometimes therefore known as DNS or NTP reflection type of attack. The key point of review, we have taken a look at the OSI model here, and it is really an excellent reference model to understand the process of network communication. But we know that TCP IP is the basis used for many devices system or communication, being vendor neutral and working with almost any type of device, to say from automobile to industrial control system. So this is, we just have an comparison between the OSI model and TCP IP model, and discuss about the bots and how it impacts our network. So this is just for a conclusion of a secure network model. The incoming session we will be discussing all the other parts of this course. Thank you.